kind of hurt when you wear the headphones anyways. So wasn't meant to be.
True that. It's like wearing a hat with glasses.
Yeah.
It presses up against your temple.
Yeah.
Y'all get that with wearing masks ever? Like wearing.
For sure.
Yeah. The mask
they're just
me
not
up behind my ears.
Yeah, they're just not long enough or something.
Like if I'm on a plane and I have to wear the thing the whole time, like
Yeah.
my ears, the back of my ears get sore.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think anytime
Check
there's
our
like
levels.
a pressure point that shouldn't be
I don't think
constantly pressed,
Yeah. Yeah.
it can cause.
It's your fucking ear, man. Hey, who's
I got sensitive ears, man.
whose beard hair is
Ooh,
gracing my
whose
presence?
Beard hair are you slurping right now? Paul, help this guy out.
I got a
guy
face noodle right here.
Well, look, dude. What are you? What are
Hey,
we?
dude.
What do you think this is? Jimmy Fallon?
You just you just
There's hair on things. It
What-
could be Bruno. Pretend it's Bruno.
when you find
Here's your-
you
Yeah,
you ever just eat your facial hair?
Probably. Don't
I
they
kinda
say that
can't.
you like ate spiders in your lifetime? I'm sure there's
They say,
way
but I don't know
more
if it's
facial hairs that
factual.
you consume
Yeah.
than that.
Can you use a coaster, please?
Maybe
Yeah, thanks.
I think maybe the 8 estimate is making up for how many some people actually eat.
Right, that's an average.
Some people are
Some
like
people eat like 100.
Like
Some people eat 0.
That's terrible.
Average is 8.
I'm at like 30 a day in the woods.
Yeah, so you're really bringing up the
Do you
average.
nap with your mouth open in the woods a lot, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the only way to sleep. I need as much air as I can get.
You climb a tree to get kind of up at the good air.
Yeah. And then I hang down so my mouth just
Right. Gravity kind of just breathes for you.
yeah,
At
it's
that
the,
point.
it's the bottom lip. It's all my bottom jaw is just extra heavy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually have arachnophobia, so let me stop you there.
Well,
Okay, I don't think I've ever introduced anybody. So, are you rolling already?
we're rolling, Christine. Why don't you kick it
Rolling.
off?
Well, dude is here, which is awesome. Good friend of Paul's.
Good friend of both. What, dude's not your friend?
No, he's a great friend.
But you know him through me.
I met him through you. I don't even think I know your real name, dude. So
I don't even
can't
think I
give
know
a
you.
much better introduction than that.
What is your real name? Who are you?
Do you really want starting off with the deep questions?
Do you not want to reveal your
my
real
name's
name?
Christine. This is Paul, and we've got Dude, aka
At work
Here with us.
at work right now they call me Cheese.
Cheese.
They call me Cheese.
Cheese is cool. Where'd you get that name?
It's the dude.
From
It's the
eating a lot of
cheese.
cheese.
Eating a lot of cheese. Well,
thought
let's
you
get
might
right
say
into
that.
that. You get these weird habits of
This
heavy consumption of certain dairy products. No?
yes, I'm the dairy fairy.
And we've talked about this before. And it fascinates me mostly out of jealousy because I have irritable bowel syndrome. It's a social disease.
Same here.
Do you?
Is it a social disease due to like
can be.
being anxious?
It affects your social skills,
Sometimes.
social ability.
Social
Yeah.
etiquette for sure.
Yeah, the etiquette's out the window.
Yeah,
It's
trust me,
At
I
a
had to-
certain point.
Yeah, I had to come home from a walk the other day because of my IBS.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You had to bail.
I met a real live Lithuanian and I was like, wow, it struck a chord with me and I had to come back home.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. Sarah was on a little walk. She found a bunch of, she's like, hey, I was just going crazy looking up, I'm trying to sell my car. I'm looking up how do I sell my car? Because it's not just post a fucking ad in the newspaper. People call you up. Yeah, I'd like to come take a look. It's like you have to post in like 5 to 10 different places. You have to discern between this is a real person, that's not a real person. This person's trying to scam me. He wants me to resend my phone number back to them so they can call me from my own phone number to verify that I'm a real person.
Yeah, it's like a full-time job almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have some stuff we were just trying to sell on Facebook Marketplace. I got some like old drums and shit.
Yeah.
And like we sold a couple things, thankfully, because Christine helped me out. But like I posted it, and then it was like all these messages. And it was like easier to just to give it away to somebody,
Essentially. Yeah.
Not for a car. Though.
Well.
A car is
Depending
big.
on how much your car's worth. For mine, I think I'll probably give it away. My it's ready to retire.
What car do you have?
It's pretty ripe for retirement.
What-
So
what?
it's just
And set it out
04.
to pasture.
That's
Lexus
all right.
IS 300. It drives
Oh, no,
well.
no.
It's got a lot of life left.
Yeah, run
but
it.
I'm being dramatic. But
Let's
I
get
feel
back
that
to
way.
the cheese.
Back to the cheese. Oh, because
So-
I got 3 different routes I could take you on here.
Well,
The whole
so
car
you're
thing.
currently
Thanks for
eating lots of cheese?
No, I hardly eat any cheese.
I
Okay.
forgot. How
But
could we
at a
forget the
time
IBS?
while you
Let's
had
get
this
back.
job, you deliver
Cheese.
cheese. So they're losing product left and right.
I deliver medicinal cannabis.
You're a marijuana delivery man.
I'm the weed man.
Right. Which
Yeah.
10 years ago, that was a
Ooh,
drug
the
dealer.
weed man.
But now that's like just a profession, just a normal job,
Depending where you live.
depending where you live. And
Yeah.
you live in California
Yeah.
at
yeah,
the moment.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. But okay, so you're not eating a lot of cheese right now.
No.
When were you eating a lot of cheese? And is there anything that you're eating a lot of at the moment?
No.
Okay.
No, I've kind of lost all my like favorite bingey like singular food items. Cheese came about thousands of years ago when the first caveman reached underneath a cow with that luscious, lumpy looking sack and said, "You know what? I want to squeeze that and suck down whatever
Yeah.
comes out."
And also just let it sit for a while till it gets hard.
No, first they just sucked it,
Right. Well, okay, yeah.
but I don't know what it was like. And
Oh,
eventually
yeah,
we
it
get
probably
the
was
cheese.
sucked by mouth first.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know if it was
Straight from the teat.
I don't know if it was sucked.
Well,
It
no,
was
because
maybe
that's
squirted.
milk. Cheese
Right, that's milk, that's
has
not
to
cheese.
be, like,
But
cured.
eventually, yeah, there maybe was like some milk on the ground and it just sat out. Milk
I
on
think that's how they
Milk on the
started
ground is
making
cheese.
mozzarella, though. They had like yak's milk up in Italy, and then they started turning it some monks or whatever. And
So cheese
started
is milk on
they
the
made a
ground.
See,
byproduct.
yeah,
and that
yeah.
was mozzarella.
There you go.
how I got into cheese was I think that was my transition from my ice cream addiction.
So it started with ice cream.
Started with the ice cream.
And when
Well-
are we talking? here?
Started with everything, narrowed down to alcohol, eventually turned into ice cream. I was like, God, I gotta put this ice cream down. and I don't know how cheese came about. I think I just saw a couple.
Natural. That's natural in the
I'm
line
seeing
of
the
progression.
progression.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it? I was like, is it a dairy thing? Is it like a calcium thing or something? I don't know.
Have you ever seen that? I've heard that the brain like reacts to cheese the same way it reacts to heroin. So basically,
Yeah.
it
The
triggers
same way?
Well, similar processes
Okay,
occur
okay.
in terms of the chemicals that your brain releases when it's given that reward.
Hmm.
So I think it, makes sense.
Well, okay, then let's go back there. When you were younger, you had like you ate a lot. And you were overweight. No,
I was a chubby boy.
you were a chubby boy, and you would
Yeah.
just eat a lot. Like, I mean, talk me through that. When did like you would just eat everything as a kid, right?
Not everything, not like couches and light bulbs,
Right. Okay.
but yeah, that was my that was like my pacifier. Was like, man, my mom she said it was jujubes, and those little, I guess they come in a box. I think they're like smaller than the size of a dime, multicolored. She actually fed me dots. Dots are the ones that are like gumdrops with no sugar, and they're extremely gelatinous and
Yeah.
not covered in sugar.
Yeah.
Very chewy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she said I used to feed you jujubes all the time. I'm like, Mom, those were dots. Those were dots because I used to talk a lot or I wanted attention or something. And so she would just give me like a giant box. To a child, a box of dots is like 4 times the size of your little hand. So so that was just for an example of like snacking. Yeah, man, I just had like a lot of time alone and I would snack. Being in Michigan, like in the middle of nowhere, small town. Yeah, just food. When did food become a thing?
Well, when did you get a grip on it? I guess then, because you're a slender man.
That was junior high. Junior high, I got more into music and I realized that the opposite sex existed and I wanted the opposite sex's attention. Yeah. And my dad and I went on the Atkins diet at the same time. Yeah. I lost I think I lost like 40 pounds in like a year. I started like getting deeper into sports and stuff.
Wow. And what's the Atkins diet? It's like just no carbs,
That's
basically?
essentially the same thing. It's like the keto thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't know what the difference is. But yeah, essentially it's the keto diet.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a plug for the keto diet. I do not endorse that shit.
So what small town in Michigan are you talking?
This is Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, Southwestern. We're like right across the bottom of the lake from Chicago, like an hour and a half, right on Lake Michigan.
I've been gambling over there. I think, what was the town that has all the casinos?
Is it not
South
Michigan
Haven or
City?
something?
South Haven has some stuff.
South Haven.
Around Niles. I'm trying to think, like Blue Chip Casino. Blue Chip Casino is like the main one over there.
Familiar.
It's
But
funny
in
how
Michigan,
close together
Michigan will
we
give
grew
you a
up.
love of food for sure. I mean, it's all you can do to just get through a winter in Michigan. I'd eat anything inside.
Is Michigan colder than Chicago, being on the other side? Does it make a difference, or it's pretty
I
much
mean, it's
equal?
further north, so you're talking about like.
Oh, it is a little bit further. Yeah, because you're at the.
Are you
Well,
right across
especially
the
further
lake?
north
Like,
than
Yeah.
Michigan, you go.
okay,
Yeah. I was essentially right across the lake.
So it's pretty comparable, I'm sure.
Yeah.
probably comparable.
Yeah, I don't know if like the winds normally blow west or east or something like that over a large body of water like that. I don't know how that works, but I feel
I
like
don't know how that works either.
we always got
I don't
the-
really know where
I think our
wind
weather
comes from.
system
To be
comes
honest,
from the west typically.
is wind just like heat changing?
it's just God's exhale.
Amen.
But what about his inhale?
His inhale,
That is,
hurricanes, that's the weird shit.
Oh, that's the weird shit.
of course.
So he rarely inhales.
He doesn't breathe
It's
much.
a big exhale.
Assuming
He's
he
almost
He's been
yogic.
meditating a long time. He's like,
Yeah,
got
God
this-
meditates.
this
Of course
breath
God
that's
meditates. Yeah, you're right.
God meditates.
I don't know. Wind comes from space. I don't know where it comes from.
It could be solar winds, right? That, someone said that once.
That's on the sun.
Oh, that's the sun's wind.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, there's wind on the
There are
sun.
solar flares on the sun
Yeah, the sun has
that
flare.
create
Wind.
kind of gusts, but
All right.
they're not wind as we know it on Earth.
I have heard of solar
Wind is
winds.
like weather.
I've heard of solar winds. I've just heard the term. I don't know what it means.
solar winds.
Something to look up. Comment down below if you know what solar winds are.
I couldn't tell you. But you're moving back to Michigan.
Yeah.
How soon are you guys leaving?
Leaving in like 3 weeks.
That's a little too soon.
It's very soon. It's been coming for a minute. I still got like mixed feelings about it just because, I love LA. Friends are here. The job is steady. But it's like, man, nothing is going to open up anytime soon. If I have this opportunity right now, I feel like nothing is gonna normalize here. I mean, things are gonna get more normal next year, but I feel like I was just talking with a guy earlier today. It's like, man, 2023 is like the earliest it feels like anything will have some semblance of normal, where people are just like out and about going to shows and shit.
In LA.
Yeah. LA specifically. I don't know about, places like fucking Indiana. I don't think they ever shut down. They were just like serving coronavirus at restaurants and shit, But
What is taking you to Michigan?
my dead grandma, the ghost of my grandma.
Yeah? You're going to
She's calling you,
She's
huh?
calling you? Yeah.
Yeah, well, she passed last May from natural causes. Not is coronavirus a natural cause? No, it was just old age. She was she just turned 98, and she like passed 2 weeks later. And so she's been squatting in this empty house like since my mom moved in that house when she was probably like in her teens or something. I don't know. So grandma's been in that house for like 50 years, and she's been there by herself. My family moved away to Florida like 20 years ago. So she's been like absolutely alone, like at home the whole time. And I was like, it was tough for years, just I've always felt like guilty for not being there, but it's like she wanted to stay there. She had an opportunity to come down to Florida. Then I moved up to Indiana, and Woochie baby, Woochie and I would
Shout out Terre Haute.
shout out Terre Haute.
Shout out Terre Haute. Shout out to Wooch. Wait, you met Wooch in Indiana? Or you
In,
met her in Florida and then you guys moved to Indiana?
In Florida, we worked at the same shitty tourist trap.
And what, how old were you then?
We met, I think, when I was 23,
And how old were you when you moved to Florida?
14.
Okay. So high school was in Florida. Childhood was
school-
in Michigan.
Childhood Michigan.
It's crazy
Yeah.
I don't know these things. That's why I like this show.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah, I wondered if we
Where-
were just gonna
your
like,
history.
if this is just like an opportunity for you to actually
is.
like get to know
That's
your
what
friends.
it is. That's what it is.
It really is.
It really is
I was
that.
like, what direction do you want to take this podcast? He's like, I just want to sit down and talk to friends.
Yeah, well, you
And
never
there
interview
it
your
is.
friends. You kind of just, you shoot the shit. You talk about,
Yeah.
my back hurts or whatever. You don't
Right,
talk about like,
right.
where'd you grow up? Like,
Right.
or whatever. So
Right.
childhood is Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And is that suburban? Is that rural?
No, it's suburban. Yeah, towny.
Suburban, towny, running around outside,
Towny.
climbing trees, that kind of thing.
I was a fat boy. I didn't really climb trees.
That's right.
Yeah. But
Big, we're tree climbers over
We're
here.
tree climbers, yeah.
I'll see. I was just talking to somebody the other day. I was like, man, I'm scared of heights. I can't swim. I'm just like a land only. I'm just very, very,
Yeah.
very much a monkey,
Land exclusive, yeah. That's funny, yeah.
Gosh, that's kind
Um,
of surprising. You grew up pretty close to Lake Michigan.
I mean, I'll get in the water, but I can't swim. I took lessons
Would you
like
drown or you just wouldn't win a race?
I might drown eventually,
Uh-huh.
but I would be good in like raging waters. Well, most anyone would probably drown in raging waters.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'd be able to like doggy paddle or I'd float. I would find a way to survive.
I
For
believe
sure.
that. I believe that.
You
Yeah,
know.
you're a fighter.
Yeah.
You're a fighter.
Yeah.
But all right, so Michigan, you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
14, you guys moved to Florida.
Yeah.
Where in Florida? Orlando?
Orlando.
Orlando, Florida. And so you went to high school in Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
What was that change like? Because I've lived in Orlando, Florida,
Yeah.
and it was it's a strange place no matter what age you go.
Absolutely.
But if you go in these formative years,
Mm-hmm.
was it like, what was that like for you?
Can we just, I don't have a lot of Orlando experience. What makes Orlando
Well, Florida's
weird.
weird. Florida is
that I,
the American South
Same.
and everything that's weird about the American South, plus like the Caribbean and everything that's weird about Caribbean culture, and those two things clashing and combining, like
Plus theme parks.
plus
Yeah.
Mickey
Plus
Mouse. Yeah.
and citrus. Plus
So it's just it's very hot and humid, and everyone's just kind of, their mind is just melting. It's
Yeah.
like, but I think mostly the culture that's in Florida is just so unique because it's the American South and the Caribbean combined. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
two things that you almost wouldn't put together
Yeah.
necessarily. And so it's an odd place.
Yeah.
People are weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say.
Okay.
People park just in their yards,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. It's like that.
for
Yeah.
sure. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're
for that.
welcome.
Flamingos in the yards. I'm catching up. I'm picturing it.
Flamingos like
Yeah.
in a truck in
Yeah,
the yard.
definitely a truck over just grassy
Just
driveway.
grass and very thick
I'm
grass.
seeing it. Okay.
Yeah. Thick, sharp grass.
And
So
it's very
in high
humid.
school, what were the things you liked about it? What did you dislike about it?
And
And what were your first impressions?
not a fan of high school. I was never. I didn't really dig school in general. My first impressions, it was weird. I mean, it was definitely weird. I went from a small town in Michigan. My graduating class was like 23 or 24 kids.
Wow.
And it was like a private school, Catholic school. And then going down to Florida. Well, I actually went to another Catholic school for like one semester once I made it down there. And then there was like some family drama. Like, cause my granddad, he was paying for my tuition. He's like, I want you to get a good education. But then there was like some drama that I still don't quite understand what it was. I think I got like I got crazy family members like brainwashing other family members. And so ended up my granddad quit paying for my schooling. And then I had to go to public school. And then it was like, so that was, well, at first, that private school that I went to, I was like, one of the poor kids there. And everyone else, I get dropped off by my mom in the minivan. And all these other kids have got, like, they got, like, luxury cars. They're riding, like...
Escalades.
Could you imagine a 16-year-old driving an Escalade?
Did they not have Escalades? What kind of cars are you talking about?
like Beamers and
okay.
Mercedes and stuff.
Yeah, all right.
That's such a big car for such like a little human.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah,
and trying to park. Imagine them trying to park that in a school
It's not
parking
a great
lot.
combination. I think I was a 16-year-old driving an Escalade once, and I knocked the side mirror off.
There you go. There you go.
Those things are still
Fun
big.
while lasting.
You had an Escalade?
Yes.
I never owned an Escalade, but my
Oh.
mom and my stepdad had one
Oh,
for
so
a
you
little
drove it.
bit. I
Gotcha.
drove it,
And you
I
crashed
went
it.
to Sonic.
Oh,
and
no.
Wiped the mirror a little bit.
Yeah, well, Sonic, they got like weird positioning of the.
I don't go there often. I wasn't used to it. If it was a Taco
They're
Bell
asking for
drive-through,
it.
I would have made it through seamlessly. But
Right.
it was just I was out of my element. I've never
Sonic's-
been back to a Sonic since.
There you
Really,
go.
I don't think I have.
Good.
Sorry, back to you.
All right, so
So you go from the Catholic school to the public school.
yeah, I was with all
Public
the
school was, or the private school was the rich kids.
private school was the rich kids. I definitely felt like outcasted there.
How long were you there?
Seems a little lonely, yeah.
Just a semester. Well, yeah, and I just like transitioned. I stayed the same sex, but I came from one state to another.
Geographical transition.
Yeah, and I
You're transgeographical.
but it was a lot of changes at once because that was like right after I went through like I started changing my diet and like getting healthy, exercising. I got rid of my glasses. I got contact lenses. I started caring about like clothes and looking fresh.
And this was to fit in at the new school?
No,
kinda
that was in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
in Michigan,
So you were just sort of coming into your own, like, like figuring out who you are and
Yeah,
things that matter to you and
Yeah.
picking your own clothes and things like that.
yeah, that was the like just general coming of age, I guess,
Yeah.
kind of.
Cool.
But then at that school, yeah, I would like sit alone outside and eat my lunch on like there was a bench outside. Like I remember, I would sit in the cafeteria, but I think I was on some like restrictive diet shit back then even because I was still like doing Atkins stuff. Like that was how I was kind of sticking with that. My dad would wake up in the morning and make like eggs and some bacon. Man, you can like people think that shit is tasty, but if you eat that shit every day for like for months or a year, like you can't even taste it. It really just
Wow.
it's just like a texture and salt in your mouth.
Right.
It's kind of gross.
That's why I feel bad for dogs because we give them the same meal their whole
yeah,
life.
yeah,
Whereas we eat like a different meal every night of the week.
yeah.
But imagine if you had to eat it's the same food every time.
Yeah.
That is
It
why
would drive me
dogs learn to get table scraps.
Yeah.
'Cause they just are begging and
The
you
lucky
feel
ones.
like they should get
The lucky
treated.
few.
True.
Yeah, they deserve them. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, so then going from the private school to public school, what was that like?
That was more culture shock just because it was way more people. And like the Catholic school, like private school, like I said, it was like all rich kids with money. So it was like mostly white kids. And then going to the public school, that was like everybody, I'm in Orlando. So it's like so many people, man. I became friends with like, all like Jamaicans, Haitians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, like everybody, which was actually dope from coming from not being able to see other people, in such a small town. I don't see any people for the most part. And now seeing like all people and all different kinds of people, like all walks of life and ethnicities, I was like, oh, wow, that was that was really awesome. I was like, the whole world's fucking here, compared to nothing, just like, I don't know, country shit or like, small town weirdos like Twin Peaks type shit.
Yeah.
Is there a serial killer at my grocery store?
Right.
But I was still, like a loner, outcast dude then. I'd still like sit by myself at lunch or like not eat lunch or bring like an apple or something like that.
Just to avoid lunch, because lunch was like this kind of clicky thing,
Yeah.
and it's like you kind of didn't know where you'd go.
Yeah, I didn't want to pick a clique. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to hang out with like the goth kids or the jocks or the nerds. Cause I didn't want to like decide on one thing and then cut myself off from other options, kind of, like, how do I decide to identify as like one thing? You know what I mean?
Do you still identify with that lone sheep
Yeah.
spirit now?
I think it's served me for the best because I'm not stuck to any of those groups, but I can still like float between them, and still communicate with each, that was the thing, is like, even seeing the kids that wanted to like stand out back in high school or whatever, it was like everyone's standing out the same,
Right.
like they choose to do the same thing to
Sure. Like,
I don't want to be this. Well, I don't want to be this the same way you don't want to be that. I also put duct tape around my Frankenstein boots. You all put duct tape on your Frankenstein boots?
right.
So funny, yeah. It's
How
such a
nonconformist of you.
retaliatory time, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
just everybody's got the Doc Martens and the
Yeah.
whatever it is.
When did you start making music and like kind of rapping or?
That was my next question
Wow.
too. I was
Aren't
thinking
we-
the same thing. So yes, you writing at this time? Were you doing anything
that all started in Michigan. I was a DJ at that tiny school in that tiny town.
Really? At like 14.
Like 12, 13, 14. Because I think it was like 6th grade, maybe 5th grade. 5th grade, I really started like getting more into music. 6th grade, like buy hella CDs, like saving my money. I would like work during the summertime. My granddad had a business, and like in the summer I would go there and just like clean the fuck out of everything with lemon scented Pledge and just get high as shit off the fumes. Like, the worst type of
That
work,
smells
like,
so specific.
it's so strong.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, you can hear it coming out.
I can even smell that combined with like grandparents' house smell. There's a certain smell to a grandparents' house as well.
It was a business, so it wasn't. It had more of like a dank industrial basement smell.
Okay. We're
Yeah.
talking more dank industrial
Yeah.
flavors.
Concrete.
Moldy, a little, some
Yeah, like a
light
cold
mold,
wetness kind
cold
of.
damp.
So you were a DJ, and then did you produce before you rapped? Rap before you produced? How did
No.
that come?
Yeah, we're still at CDs. I want to know what CD you bought first. You're saving up.
One of my first CDs. Oh my god. I've been thinking about this for a while. If I really want to disclose, like what are the first CDs that I ever
I'll give you
bought?
mine.
Mine was like embarrassing too.
My two first CDs are Hanson and the Backstreet Boys, and I loved them.
Amazing.
I loved them.
Those are great. I'm pretty sure the first one I bought was Bewitched, which is a very like,
Like the soundtrack?
K-poppy
That was
sound.
a group, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a movie. Oh, it's a TV show, Bewitched.
Well, you're right.
But there
It
was a band
is,
called
but there was
Bewitched,
also
you
a band.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah.
K-poppy.
It was a little K-poppy, yeah. It was like
That's
a
cool.
girl band and just high energy, Spice Girls-y kind of energy.
Where are they from? Because like I feel like it's S Club
Honestly, I
70,
have
and they were
no-
like,
This is similar vibe, but I don't know. I got to go back in time.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first CDs were like, well, I got tapes before. I had like a Bone Thugs and Harmony tape. I think my friend he came over and played like a Dog Pound cassette or something like that. And I was like, what? god, I can't believe they're saying
that
this
one.
shit.
Like Dog Pound, like Snoop Dogg, Dog Pound.
Yeah,
Dog Pound?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Snoop and
Of
Warren
course,
G.
of course.
Yeah, and Corrupt. And yeah, I remember them playing that. And I was like, I can't believe they're saying it. It's just like record. He's like, bitch, you got some bomb ass pussy. Bitch, you got some bomb ass pussy. You know, I'm in like 5th grade, like
Yeah.
that seemed like the coolest
Just
shit.
a
like-
nice little boy from the suburb. They went to Catholic schools. Like,
It was
what?
like,
They can
know.
say that?
Yeah, no, it blew my mind because my folks, you know, they would only let me get like the clean versions of stuff. I had to go to like Walmart and get the edited stuff or find it wherever I could. Sometimes there was a store called like Media Play. Did y'all ever hear about that? It was like a
I
big,
don't know that one.
it was a huge, it was like a Best Buy alternative, but it also had books.
Okay.
Media, I guess, Media Play.
any media.
But anyways,
But it was always so. You were into hip hop right away.
yeah, the CDs though. Bad Hair Day, Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay.
That was the first
That's
one.
good.
I think that I don't know if that was the first one or if it was Shaquille O'Neal, Can't Stop the Rain.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was that the Weird Al with like Yoda? Yeah, Yoda.
No, I think that was earlier. This is the one with Amish Paradise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how'd you get into hip hop then? Like, what were your parents' music? Did you like listen to what your parents listened to, Emery?
No.
So how'd you find hip hop?
That's a great, I think just TV.
MTV.
I think it was just like
Yeah, that was
MTV,
the, like, the
BET.
beginning of just MTV era
Yeah.
reigning.
Oh, Skilo. That was another one of my first
Never heard of Skilo.
records. Skilo. I wish I was a little bit taller.
Oh,
I wish
sure.
I was a
Oh,
baller.
sure.
I wish
Oh,
I had
yeah.
a girl who looked good. I would call her. Wish
Yeah.
I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6'4" Impala. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was. I remember like watching that. I remember my mom walking in. And I was like, "Oh, what? This is like my favorite song." And she would like dance with me, like watching that thing. I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." My mom gets down. So that was like encouraging. My mom would always like encourage.
So you were always into hip hop, though.
Yeah.
And when did you start like producing and rapping or doing things like that?
Junior high in Michigan. I think one of the first raps that I wrote was to, I guess it was like maybe 99, 98, whenever Black Rob came out with Whoa. I had this bad bitch uptown, she was whoa. Had me fucked up in the head, I mean whoa. And it's got that string sample.
I don't know.
Oh, the beat still knocks.
Nice.
But I wrote a song like, man, late for class, like, whoa. Like, whoa. I just wrote about school.
Nice. Yeah. You write about what you know.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
We're gonna need a playlist for every podcast now because it's
yeah.
inevitable that songs and bands come.
Yeah, for
come up in
we did my
conversation.
buddy Jordan, our buddy Jordan, for our last episode, and he made a Spotify playlist of all the songs and all the music we talked about.
Oh,
in
wow.
it. So maybe we'll do that for this too.
Yeah, this will be like the hip
Whoa.
hop edition. Wow.
These would be some deep cuts.
Oh, man.
With a random K-pop sample, you know. No, okay.
Okay,
Awesome.
so then
Okay.
when like at that time where you're like, I want to be a famous musician when I grow up, like was there like
No,
goals
no.
like that? Or?
No, rapping was fun. Rapping was fun. I just thought it was cool to like make words rhyme, you know? And the beats were dope. I just really felt the music. Doing the DJ thing. I wasn't telling anybody that I was rapping, you know, because I was like, you know, I didn't feel strongly about like what I was doing. And then when we moved to Florida, I did tell like a couple. I talked to like the girl who was like the class president with like my shy ass. I went and, you know, the one person I did talk to was like the class president or like the treasurer or whatever, who was setting up the school dances or the class dances. And I was like, hey, yo, I DJ. I got like all the equipment. I got lights and fog machine and everything. I could do this. She's like, oh, yeah, cool. I'll get back to you. And nobody ever got back to me. And I was like, huh. All right, well, fuck it then. So then did I get rid of some equipment? I feel like I got rid of some.
Oh wow. Like you were
equipment.
discouraged from that moment?
No, I wanted to get production equipment.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Then I got like it was like an 8-track recorder. It was like a Roland 8-track recorder.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when I first started producing stuff and like recording stuff. I don't think I ever recorded vocals. I still hadn't recorded any vocals at the time. I think I was just thinking I want to produce. Because I was like really into like I was into Timbaland and everything the Neptunes were doing,
Sure.
Manny Fresh and all like the Cash Money music.
And when did the name Dude come into the picture?
That was just in high school. That's because I called everybody else dude. And so every time people would see me.
And it replaced what name?
We still don't know
I'm still
who
gonna,
you
I'm
are.
just gonna keep sneaking that
Who
in
are
there. I know the people want to know. Dude is a hard thing to search for. There's a lot of dudes in this world. None quite
Yeah.
like you.
Well, they won't find me by my government
By-
name either.
I
Because that's
see.
not even on Facebook.
Are you
that's
not? You're not
on,
attached to the government name at all.
No.
At this point,
No, and
It's
I-
like you've evolved past that.
Yeah, you like a lot of people have sort of a rap name,
Mm-hmm.
like an artist name, but they don't necessarily introduce them. Like JC doesn't say like I'm Jay Gatsby, nice to meet you. You know, you got Cap, you got you. Those are the only people I know who like are that.
No,
name.
I introduce myself by my regular name, like at work and stuff.
Which is
No, it's fine. Don't
I
tell
want
us
to say
now.
Leon. I've heard it before. No, I do know it, but I'll let you say it if you feel like it.
It'll come up.
Yeah,
It'll
let
come
Christine keep
Yeah,
tickling
let
it
me
out
just
of you.
keep
Yeah.
getting it.
No, it's gonna come out without like just naturally.
Yeah, it's good suspense for the whole episode. It's like, well, when are we gonna get that name?
I
Tune
like that
in
there's such suspense for
after
such
the messages.
it's such
see
like-
if you'll get the name.
such like an inane thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's gonna be great.
Oh,
So okay, to get back to the recording device, I'm not sure I understand exactly what it is. You said this 8.
it's
I
just
don't know what that is.
yeah.
I can explain. Well, you know how in Logic we set up multiple tracks layered on top of each other, but those programs didn't used to exist like Logic. It would be a physical device, and it would be limited to only 4 or 8 tracks that you can record on, but they're just being recorded within this little box. This is correct, right?
Yes.
So
well, you've got a mixer for the audio for this podcast, right? It's essentially that exact thing essentially.
So it would look like this. You record your drums, your keys, your whatever.
Yeah.
And then you mix like that, and you can just have the one,
Yeah.
so you only have
See.
8 tracks, whereas on this, I can make 100 tracks,
Yeah.
it.
if I want, but you're
So
limited.
you were just really into making beats.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was where it came in.
Yeah. And
So
I would just
then-
play things out like
And
okay.
you're sorry.
I had a keyboard. I had like this Alesis something 7. And I would if I was going to use a hi-hat, I would just record the same hi-hat for like 4 minutes. I would just like record it and like try to keep I don't even think I had a click track. I would just try and keep the tempo by myself, and then another 4 minutes I'd go through doing like
So
the
sick.
kick and the snare.
So no looping.
No,
Yeah.
just go like all the way through, and hopefully I know when the hook comes in or whatever.
Were you able to do like sampling on that too, or was all
no.
original sounds?
I didn't. It was all original stuff. I didn't really delve into it. I just like wanted to get a sound out, so I didn't really figure out how to use the technology very well.
I do the same thing. I learned the bare minimum to just like make a sound, and then
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I just want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so did I ever do anything with any of those? I don't know. I got
It'd be cool if
Yeah,
I
it'd
can
be
find
cool to
those.
dig those
Yeah.
up.
Hear those.
I know I've got them burnt to some CDs that I like put in a locked briefcase somewhere. It's like those,
Your full name written on a piece of paper.
my government name,
Yeah, like your birth certificate's in there.
my social security.
Yeah.
Gonna like just go up in smoke if anyone opens it.
Yeah, yeah. This will self-destruct. All right, so that gets us through high school, and then did
That
you
was
go to
rapping.
college, or what happened after?
Yeah, college. Well, okay, so there was the rapping, you're asking about. That came about in also in high school. freestyling at school. You know, there'd be like some little random circles and shit that I would jump into. People got a kick out of it because I look ridiculous as a person.
What do you mean? Because
I'd wear like I'd wear more like flamboyant clothes. You know, I'd wear like a lime green T-shirt or like a light blue, like orange stuff. I had like a crazy style going on back then. I'd like buy all the Jordans. I save up all my money from work and buy like fresh Jordans. You know, like the black and red 11s that would match my black polo shirt with the red horse on it.
so super stylized.
Yeah, heavy.
Yeah.
And then yes, I just looked.
I'm
Kinda
wondering where
ridiculous
you
at
got
times.
your clothes. Like, are you a thrifter? Were
No,
you
I
back
got a lot
then?
of it on eBay.
eBay, buying on eBay.
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
Yeah, if I like go to a store, try something on, see if it fits, maybe buy one pair, and then I just look for it on eBay and buy it used.
Got it.
Yeah, or like Christmas sales, like if I can get $100 jeans for like $20, I'm about it. You know. But yeah, so little freestyle. Oh, it was playing basketball. Me and my teammates, we'd ride around in the minivan. I would drive my buddies around like to practice and stuff. And I had like two 12s in the minivan. Like I had the sound system, and yeah, like my mom went I think I had it. Did I have it? I think I had it at the private school. Maybe I was after the private school. My mom would like come up to pick me up from school, and she would like put the system on. And she's playing like Trick Daddy Baby because I'm a thug, or like playing Ludacris.
Your
and
mom
shit.
was always playing that stuff?
At least to pick me up, just to create a scene.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or
She was in on
really
it.
liked
Yeah,
it. I
yeah.
mean,
She liked it. She went and saw Ludacris with me like twice back in the day.
It's killer.
Crazy
Nice.
shit, yeah. But yeah, riding around with my teammates, we'd all like be freestyling on shit on the way to games or practice, whatever. And me and some other buddies. It's so funny thinking about this. I'm like, it seems like it was such a wide like time frame, such like a big chunk, but it was really only like a couple months, you know?
Where you're like driving around and
Yeah, just like that younger mind. You know, I don't know if it's like you're on a trip and time dilation. Is this gonna last forever? You know, summers last forever, that type of thing.
Right.
But it seemed like it was forever recording stuff. So my buddies would come over. I had like two good friends, and we would just freestyle. Like then I had a computer that I recorded with, and we would just take turns. Like, was it on the computer? I think it was. Anyways, so it'd be one track playing, and one of us be rapping, and then like as we're about to finish, the other person would like come up, and then another one would come up, and we did like several. I swear there were like we filled like 5 or 6 CDs with stuff.
Do you still have any of that?
Yeah,
in that suitcase.
and it's in the suitcase.
Wow.
Paper.
Yeah,
We have to track that thing down. Or
It's-
you have
it's
it?
there.
You have the suitcase?
I think it's at my folks' house.
Oh,
It should
okay.
be. It still exists.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the archives.
Yeah.
So then when did you meet Sarah?
That was. Oh, this is a skip ahead. This is in Orlando, working at a shit tourist trap. It was run down. It was a giant upside down building.
Always smelled like lemon pledge.
I know about the upside down building. I know about the upside down building by Ripley's, believe it or not, on I Drive.
Yeah, down there near
Yeah.
Race Rock and Point Orlando and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what, she was working there too?
Yeah. She worked in the retail shop. I worked in like the main attraction area. Ended up I was
Dude is the main attraction.
man.
What were you, like a tour guide or something?
No. They would have so they'd have like exhibits where you walk in, you go through this tunnel. That was like my favorite part. It's like a black lit tunnel with like spacey stuff on the sides of it. It's spinning around. So like there's a bridge that you walk across.
Oh, yeah, I've been in
Picture
these
that.
things. They just disorient the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how hard you try, you stand there, try not to get dizzy. Like,
Yeah.
it just fucks with. Have you been in those?
I feel like I can picture what
You
you're
like walk
saying, yeah.
through like a little catwalk, and like
yeah.
the whole everything around you is like a tunnel that's just
think,
spinning.
yes.
Pitch black, but black and white, and it's spinning with black light. Yeah.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah, dude.
So when you met Sarah,
Yeah.
Woochie Baby, it was episode 1.
But you know her name.
Oh yeah, her name we know.
Yeah, Sarah.
She told us her name.
Yeah.
But when you met Sarah, did you introduce yourself as dude? Or
No. At work, I used my government name. That's the thing.
He just, you know.
so you said
just
hi.
I don't think we introduced ourselves at work. We just had name tags.
Nice.
Oh,
I like
there you
it.
go.
Takes
All
the
right.
work right out of it.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
Nice. And then she was like,
bing.
cool.
All right.
So then you guys are dating in Florida for a while, and like this whole time you're making music and stuff.
Being a lonely drunk.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we can cut any of this out if you want, but like
No.
you were like a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
And you went to jail. That's are you right or no? Am I correct?
Maybe so. Maybe
We
so.
don't have to talk about that.
Maybe so.
But all right, you were a heavy drinker, but now you don't drink at all.
No.
And like, how'd you quit that? I know a lot of alcoholics
Cheese.
that
He
are.
quit with ice cream and cheese.
I know a lot of drug addicts and alcoholics that are heavily in the program,
Yeah.
but I know that's not for everybody. Like, are you? Well, that's not a good question to ask. But anyway, how did you quit drinking? Because it's impressive. It's very
It is.
impressive.
I don't
like
mean
for
to
someone to
belittle you
just
by
kind of
any
like
means.
be like,
Yeah.
I need to change this, or was it court mandated, or how did that work?
No, the court mandated ones, they didn't work.
Those never stick.
No, because
You
I
have to want to do it yourself.
yeah.
So
yeah.
at what point, I guess, did you want that for
That
yourself?
was. It took a while. I mean, there were so many instances that looking back, they were already like. They were like literal Jesus take the wheel moments, because I did not take the wheel, and but that's only like in hindsight. What really did it is, I think I was just scared to die. I was like, because it was to the point where I felt like it numerous times. I thought I was going to die, and was probably
Because of,
like close to
being
it.
hungover, or
Yeah, or having just like taken it too far. I could feel like certain things going on in my body that I'd felt before. I didn't know if like something was failing, or I knew it was bad because I've had hangovers before, but they were just like getting more severe. Every time I drank, it would turn into like it would take me 3 days. I would have a 3-day hangover, and it's like, what the fuck is the point, of even drinking? I tried. I knew it was bad. I tried to cut back. And I try and do the reasonable thing, like, I had like time off. I'll just like have one, but then that always turns into like more, It's like a typical addict thing. It was actually, Jesus, man. What made me quit? I've been trying to quit since 2013. I ended up finally cutting it out in 2016 after Dez's birthday party.
Really?
I was dressed up like a woman. Well, I was wearing a wig and a dress.
Okay. It was
We
like
were all cross-dressed.
cross-dress
Yeah.
surprise party we did for Des.
okay.
Where so she walked in and we were all cross-dressed. And surprise, surprise, and surprise.
Double surprise,
Double
square.
She loved it. It was a really good party. So that was the last time you drank?
Yeah.
Did you do something that like embarrassed yourself, or was just the physical feeling of?
Yeah, I don't think it was it was super embarrassing to me, just because of how it made me feel, and like compounded like junky behavior of my own that I had been paying attention to and like seeing and being so tired of. Because I think I fucked up. If I would have drank like once in a while, it would have been okay. But then I think that might have been the second or third day in a row that I had been drinking. So I was just in a place where I did not want to socialize or communicate. And it's like, of all times, I'm going to this party. I'm going to go and like have a good time and, and be fun. But
So, yeah, you're like coming at it from like a fake it till you make it place, just trying to drink your way to a good time.
yeah.
And have
After
the
already,
opposite effect.
after already doing it for 3 days and not cultivating that mind space that I wanted to be at, just trying to get the alcohol to do that.
That's fascinating to me because I thought you were sober like the whole time I've known you. I didn't remember that you drank like while we've been friends. Like I never thought of like dude as like a problem drinker. Like would you like you were never dude was never like the drunk guy at parties, like passed out, falling over shit, saying the wrong thing, being loud. Like would you be like drunk and just holding it together, or was like you're drinking something you would do sort of by yourself?
It would. I mean, I'd be fine. I don't think I was ever that guy at the party that was a mess. You know.
Yeah.
It's just that after the party, I would want to enjoy myself. I would want to like enjoy my me time, and then that would push it further. And that's where I would tend to unravel. You know.
And that's like going home after a party and like staying up really late.
I just
and just drinking by yourself.
Yeah, just go to oblivion like
Right.
until I pass out.
Yeah.
But I did that like every night for years. Like when I was working at that spot in Orlando, I would get a 4-pack of 16-ounce Natty Lights on the way to work, drink 2 of them, drink 2 more, and smoke like a roach on my lunch break. And then I would go back into work, and then after work I'd get like a, I don't know, 12-pack, 18-pack, 24-pack, or those giant bottles of wines, and I would drink that. And then I'd wake up and have to go to work, and that was just like...
Wow.
years.
And at that time, were you like, this is a problem, or were you just young enough to be like,
No, I can
it's just
handle it.
fun?
I can
Yeah.
handle it.
And
then.
that's it's culture or socially too. At that time, it's like a little bit more acceptable.
Yeah.
Not like acceptable, but like
No, it
less
is.
repulsive. I guess it's
Mm-hmm.
part of the culture, like the socialization. You just drink with friends
Yeah.
quite often. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
if
a
we
thing.
drank, if I drank today like I drank in college, you'd be saying like, Paul, you have a problem. But like when I was
Right,
20
but at
in
that
college,
age-
like let's get drunk all the time. Like it just feels. I mean, normal maybe isn't the right word, but it sort of is normal. Like
It's
it's normal,
definitely
but that's common
normalized a bit
behavior
more.
for people that young.
Yeah.
So and I think like a lot of people like sort of we all, that's an overgeneralization, but we all drink an alcoholic's amount in college, and then most of us break out of that and have a healthy relationship. And
Yeah.
some people, including myself a little bit, I'm not saying I'm have a perfectly healthy relationship with alcohol, but like some people still get stuck in it, and like then by the time you're in your late 20s or something, it's like a real
Yeah.
real problem.
How the
Yeah.
fuck do you get out of that? Because that means you haven't like stopped to put your life together, or maybe you've been like a functional alcoholic. You know.
Was it just your health that was, and just the way you felt, or did you feel like also alcohol was affecting your life negatively in other ways?
I didn't really see it like that. I was just unhappy.
Yeah,
I
feeling
was just
horrible.
I just felt very shit. You know. I was in the darkness. You know. And the thing that, it's like that anything anything you use for an escape, any like substance, you use it and it helps, and then like the scales tip. It's like, oh man, I get a great benefit from this, and like there's no repercussion, and then like the benefit decreases, and it's just
Right.
like all repercussion. Like the last times, that's the thing. The last times I would try drinking is, it would never made me feel good from the first drink. I was like, shit, like this isn't doing anything. And then eventually all it would do is just make me loose and sloppy, but it never made me feel better. It never, those chemicals were dead. I fucking burnt them out or something,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it was after Dez's party. Or was that just the last time you happened to drink, or was it after that party you're like, fuck it, I'm done? Was there some kind of like decision?
No, that was just there were many decisions prior to that.
Right.
But it actually stuck since then, because I would quit and then be like 3 months pass, 6 months pass. That's why you never known me as a drinker, or like as a drunk, because so much time would be passing in between. And I think I would avoid going to parties, or like if people were hanging out and partying, I'd just be like, well, I'm not fucking going, because I'm not trying to do that. And I know
Right.
like how tempting it is for me to want to feel like I'm a part of that, But yeah, the Dez's party, I don't remember the end of it. As most nights when I would drink, but the next day, no, I feel like I do
Do you remember we
remember.
shot a fantasy Mariah Carey music video upstairs, like on a ring light.
I do remember that.
I remember you killed it. I was
Really?
like, fuck, man. I wish I was as charismatic as a dude. I distinctly remember that.
I don't remember it that well.
Well, and gosh, the irony. I'm sure if you watched it, you'd be like, "Oh, I don't want
Oh,
to see
yeah,
that."
I'm just picturing it right now.
Yeah.
I know I got like the red face or red nose and shit, and I got like the dead eyes and like a lip. And,
Was so for how long was it hard for you? And is it still hard to go like? Because you would come to jams at the house, and it can get a little belligerent and like.
Hardly. I mean, I can't even tell. That's the thing is like when people are drinking, for the most part, you can't really tell.
That's true, and you would
know?
you guys would usually dip out. You're not there at the like the 3-4 a.m. like sun's coming up. Like we're still sitting around talking and drinking.
No, because I know that place.
Right. So you got out. You get out before that.
I know where that's at. Yeah.
So how did you? And it was just like. So you're saying you would kind of go on these benders every couple months or whatever, whenever you're triggered by it. So then you just recognize that pattern enough to realize for you it was all or nothing.
Yeah. I was tired of it. Yeah, I came home with like, I think I put several bottles of like wine and vodka in the waistband of the dress that I was wearing, and like took the taxi home. And then I wake up the next day, or was it that night? I don't even know. No, it had to be the next day. Then on the shelf, I see like these unopened like wine and vodka bottles and stuff just sitting on the shelf, and I just like immediately felt like so shitty, you know, because I think those were like birthday gifts for Dez, and so that made me feel extra bad that it was just like such a junky like addict behavior.
Like hoarding. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I want to make sure I have enough for me, and I like took somebody else's stuff. And what is it? It's just like cheap drugs, you know. And I've done like other like dumb junky shit in my past, and I was just tired of it. And that compounded with like how I already felt going into it. I was like, fuck all this, fuck that shit. I don't even know what I did. I don't know what my resolve was afterwards. I don't remember having like a conversation with Sarah or anything. I know we did talk. I know it was probably like kind of shitty and like sad, and I like probably had a hard time looking at myself. But yeah, I don't know I don't know if I had a plan. I just like quit. I felt like I was quitting everything.
Yeah. What's like?
That's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, good on you.
Good
Like
fucking
I
job,
respect
man.
the shit out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
that's
it's
awesome.
amazing. It's amazing, and like
Thanks.
you're a really healthy guy. I mean, you know, if that shirt was off, we'd be sweating, and it wouldn't be from the fire. You know, like I know what's under that
Be
shirt.
sweating from these lights.
I know what's under that shirt.
Do you feel proud of yourself? Like at this point, you're 5 years sober?
5 in May. Yeah, it took a while for that pride to build, you know, because for a while I just feel like I'm making up for lost time, you know.
Well, did it feel like shaky at first too? Like you were always did you feel like you were gonna slip, whereas now you maybe feel more stable with your footing on that, or
I never really felt like I was gonna slip, you know, because
had your mind made up?
Yeah, and I had already had so many slips before, you know. I knew in 2012 that it was bad. I knew in like 2011. I think I always knew it was bad, you know. Shit that I did, but I was like, I needed like my medicine to survive or to cope with feelings that I have that I didn't like, and yeah, it was a coping mechanism that it like lost its effect. So I didn't really feel like much of I don't remember feeling temptation like in the first months after that. But I think I got even more depressed because that's when I realized like I decided I was going to dive into the ugly. I was going to dive into the darkness and start to look at all these things.
Oh.
And
Yeah, that's a scary place to be.
Yeah, like really face yourself and face
Yeah.
like what you're trying to
Face
sort
the
of cover up.
music.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I've done, and also just like simple things. You know, it's almost like, you know, now I got a lot of love for like that version of myself, because it was like childish behavior, and it's just like a scared child, you know, just it's like coping with feelings, or like just general nervousness. It all came from like trying to hang with friends and stuff, go out to the bar, and like, oh my God, I have these crazy, like I am crazy anxious, and like from childhood stuff, just trying to like people please, and like lack of boundaries and all this shit. And so I try and drown that out, but I still want to have fun and do things and have friends. And the drink came in to calm that. But the thing I found, even at the very beginning, is that no matter how much I would drink, it would never go away. No matter like how close to losing consciousness I got, I was still there. And the exact feeling would be, it would be dulled, but no matter what, it's like, fuck, man. Frida Kahlo had a quote. She said, I used to drink to drown my problems, and those bastards learned to swim. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, motherfucker, man.
Right.
Still
Sort of
there.
mutates like a virus. Like it finds a way to not
Yeah.
be drowned out anymore by the
Yeah.
booze.
Yeah. It's, I think a lot of what it is just, I was avoiding myself, avoiding like how I really felt. And, yeah, I feel like that's just, it's like just a real, a very common thing, you know?
Definitely.
I didn't know that. I thought everyone was just fucking cool and they like felt comfortable. Or I was like,
Right.
how the fuck do these people have tools, or like coping mechanisms, or like how do they live? How are these people normal?
Yeah.
So where did you like pick up confidence along the way? Because it takes a lot to make music and put yourself in front of other people and take your words and put them out there in the universe. So, I mean, how are you crafting that together? Because you're fooling me. You got some great dance moves. I loved that last
Oh my
music
God.
video on
Dude's
the roof.
live show
I mean,
is so great because your dance moves, you're just kind of
it's
chickening
awesome.
up there. Dude's the best, but I think that it's like we all just fake it. Like people. I've had these conversations with like Des and stuff that like they're surprised. Like she was surprised that I was like uncomfortable or anxious. She's like, "Oh, I didn't know you like ever feel that way." I was like, "I always feel that way." Like I think everybody always feels that way. Like we always feel like we're the weird ones. Everyone else is so comfortable. Everyone else's lives seem so simple, so easy. Like, and it's. I think almost nobody feels that way, and even. As I interact
Nobody
with
doesn't
very
feel that way.
successful people, very famous people who have things I want, like you'd assume they have it all figured out, or like my boss's boss at a thing, you'd assume he's got it figured out, and like he doesn't. He wakes up going like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, and as soon as you sort of like let that just be the truth, we're all uncomfortable. Like it's sort of now we're together because like you're not separate from the group. Like we're all the same group of uncomfortable humans whose DNA is not designed to deal with this world at all.
Yeah. Hearing about like great performers, like actors, musicians, anything, and hearing that, hearing them say like, "Yeah, I have fucking stage fright every single night."
Right.
I'm like, really? Like
That's shocking.
you who've been doing it for so long have like this level of success. It's just a human thing. So I guess so to answer that question about like building confidence, I don't even know how much I built confidence.
Do you still feel like a nervous kid, like stepping up to the mic? Or, I mean, do you, it seems like you're coming at it from a different angle at this point.
Or is there other tools you use to cope?
I feel like I still feel like that, but I think I care less. I care less about it.
detachment.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
It's a good thing we talk about it a lot. It's just
One point
coming
on the board for
back.
detachment.
It's hard though. Like I have a friend who always has to remind me that like you don't just arrive at one time in your life. Like you're always going to be arriving. You're always going to be needing to get to a new place. You talk about it a lot too, of just like this, if the old me looked back at me 5 years ago, you'd be proud, but like now I'm here and I want to be further along. And so it's just that thing that we're always, I think that's another part of the human struggle, is just constantly striving to be better and thinking you should be a better version. And like the 2.0 is always sort of like on our mind. And I don't know, I feel that a lot
Yeah.
of the time.
In Buddhism, the human condition is craving. You crave.
Desire.
And like desire. And it's just like, so you think you desire for something, and if you had that, you would no longer desire. But desire is the thing. Like it's just desire. Like, so once you get that thing, you're going to desire something else. Like desire doesn't really go away. It's like you just have to sort of learn. It's this weird paradox, I think, because it's like, I want that thing. I know it's not going to fulfill me, but I know it's the thing I want right now.
Right.
So I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
But as soon as when I'm there, I'm aware, like, or I might not even get there, and that's okay too. But I'm still going to go there like I'm going to do it. I'm going to approach it like I'm going to be successful.
Right.
It's just this strange paradox. Like you have to need these goals, but not need them. Like it's very difficult.
It's so
classic. The grass is always greener kind of argument.
Yeah.
It's a conundrum.
I had an experience with satisfaction recently.
Cool.
I believe I felt what satisfaction feels like.
Before that, he couldn't get no satisfaction.
I couldn't get none.
But
Now I found it. That shit ain't all it's cracked up to be.
Oh yeah.
That shit.
did it make you squirmy? You didn't know what to do with that?
That shit. No, it was like, it was way more. It felt like emptiness. It felt like deadness.
Okay, wait. Let's
What
talk about
satisfied
this. Yeah,
you?
let's talk about the context of this.
Just
Like I killed a person,
Satisfaction.
and I thought it would make me feel better.
no. I mean that kind of. That's yes, in a way.
Okay.
It was a performance that I had. I shot a video with a buddy, and with a lot of like performance stuff. So one of the tools that has helped me reach not confidence but like detachment, or just like getting away from myself. That's kind of like where the whole my
Getting out of
Instagram
your way.
Instagram handles dude is dead. So, and that's based on like, well, I don't exist, in like a Buddhist sense,
Yeah,
this
like
is
your
just my
name's been
identity.
retired and
Yeah. Just an identity. Die daily, I don't know who said it, but die daily, just kill that version of yourself and come anew, grow again. And so I think that's why, sometimes with my art, I tend to be very flighty, and I just want to create something new. That's just like maybe a typical artist thing. I want to make a new thing. That's not even done yet. I don't care. I want to make a new thing. I have to do something new. But in like certain performances, I noticed when I push myself all the way out, like this is speaking about a physical performance, like dance act, whatever. And I think I for that shoot, I achieved everything that I wanted to. I pushed myself all the way out to where I didn't have any thoughts. I didn't have anything else that I wanted to be or to do, like for every single shot, in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, how can I do something different? This has to be different than what I did before, like body and face. All these actions have to be brand new. We can chop them together. Brand new, like fresh, kill that thing. New one.
You were just dialed in, like just sinking buckets over and over.
I guess it never feels like it.
Flow state.
Yeah, it never feels like it. Because I'm not there when that thing happens. I guess it's a flow state. I mean, it's kind of like it's like some like occult practice, like some magical practice where you will like, some people they will spin in a circle until they're dizzy, just
Sure.
like hyperventilate or something like that. Reaching orgasm, any of these like ecstatic states, that or total like lack of sense, lack of sensation. So like just not sleeping, but like a single pointed focus, like meditation or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just like that's why you dance. You dance to get this shit out, and then you feel good afterwards. Okay, well, I think maybe I had an aim for this performance, and I didn't necessarily feel good afterwards, but I felt done. I just felt done. Like there was nothing else that I wanted to get out. I didn't have anything to say. If someone else had an idea or wanted me to do something, I could do it. It was over. Buddy left, and I'm just sitting there, and I was like, sometimes when you like hang out, you go hang out with people, you go do some shit. Afterwards, you want to like decompress. You're like, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna smoke one. I'm just gonna like scroll or watch shit on the TV. Just eat a bunch of food. What the fuck ever. And so I tried snacking. I tried like eating one of my favorite snacks, and it was boring as shit. Like my body didn't want it. I was like putting it in my mouth, like, and I was going through the motion of chewing it,
full.
but I was like, yeah, full or empty. It's not like I wasn't hungry, but I wasn't full. I was like, fuck, and then I just sat there. I was like, I don't know what. I don't know. I just don't know.
What is this feeling? What,
Yeah.
What is it? Am I satisfied? What is this?
Yeah, it's like there was no.
It's like that weird transition of awareness where it's like in yoga when you're lying there and you're still, and then they're like, start to wiggle your fingers and toes and like bring yourself back in your body. It's kind of that because you're having this flow state of mind where you're just completely pouring out this creative energy. It's like intuitive. It's happening kind of without you. It's happening with like an autopilot. Like you're just letting it go where it wants, and then all of a sudden that's draining. I mean, after that's gone, it's like
that's the thing is
I think it's draining.
And then that was the weird thing is it wasn't too draining, because I do get that draining feeling during those instances, but I didn't feel drained. Like I knew that I could I didn't want to sleep. That's the thing is I didn't feel energized, but I didn't feel tired either. So then I got
peculiar.
It was the strangest thing. I was and so then I wrote it out. I was like, is this satisfaction? Like did I reach a place? I'm like, oh, this shit fucking sucks, man. Is this like is this enlightenment? Fuck that.
Maybe I do want to sit with the goth kids and be angsty. What is this? At least they feel something.
Who's got some duct tape for my Franken boots?
Yeah.
But that's what I wrote, and I was like, satisfaction is not bliss. Satisfaction is not joy. Satisfaction is not desire. Also, satisfaction is not fear. Satisfaction is not fatigue. Satisfaction is not contentment. It's just like, it's the fulfillment of a thing, and just having to actually sit in that thing versus going to another thing, I think it's very uncomfortable.
It's like that
Is what I
brief
noticed.
pause and a break from the craving
Yeah.
to do and create.
Yeah.
It's
It's
gonna
like you
come
had
back
closure
soon.
on a thing,
Yeah, that's a wrap
but
on
you're
this
in
little
between
craving.
cravings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
And your body's like so used to craving, it's like in between cravings. So
Yeah.
it's sort of
What do you
you're
do?
sort of at a loss.
Yeah. It's like, fuck, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
I think you're just supposed to be in it.
And this was very recently that
Yeah. It's
this
like
was
a month ago.
I wanted to ask you about when you went to New York. This what year was that?
That was 2018.
So 2018. I mean, it felt pretty sudden to me. It was like dudes moving to New York for a little while, which was so cool. We missed you, but it was like, wow, that's That feels right. Like what what made you want to do that trip and like made you like I'm doing it.
I don't know. I needed something else. I thought I needed something else. Um, I think I was just stuck, you know?
Just kind of shake shit up a little bit.
Did Wuchi go with
Yeah.
you, or was this solo?
No, she stayed here. We were actually broken up at the time. And that, that contributed to it because we were already apart for, I don't know, like 6 months or something like that, 6, 7 months. But I was just super low, I didn't know what to feel like, 'cause, we were together for so long up to that point. And also that was, I was just over like a year sober when we split up, and then I think that's kind of what caused it. It's just like I said, just the peeling back of everything. I was like, I started removing everything. I get distanced within my relationships. I isolate, which is probably not what I needed. I probably actually needed to be around people, but I couldn't fucking figure out, what was my issue and what my issue with other people was. Is this just my own problem? What the fuck?
Withdrawals, the natural reaction, I think.
Mm.
I mean,
Withdrawal from the
withdraw
relationship.
from. Yeah, I have this similar. It's like a pretty easy protection.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
It's just, and especially when you're sorting through all that stuff, it's just, I don't know.
I thought you meant like withdrawals from alcohol. I was like, man, that was a while ago.
No, like getting withdrawn in the relationship when you're experiencing such a transformative process.
Yeah.
I think makes sense.
It's
to me.
tough.
I definitely understand that.
For sure. Yeah, it makes sense too.
There's a lot of vulnerability, and because I just felt like super like raw, tender. It's like I don't want to be touched, and then I also don't want to put my like unregulated emotions out on other people because I don't know what I don't want to give them my bullshit because I know I'm obviously full of a lot of bullshit right now. So it's like I just have to fucking reel it in and just like sit with it and go through it.
Were you feeling like volatile, like explosive with emotion, lacking emotion, kind of confused by it?
Depressed, super depressed. I mean, the depression has always been there, and that pushed it a level further. And then I just lost this like big part of my life after quitting drinking, and then I wanted control. I was gonna be living on my own again. Where the fuck am I gonna live? I'm gonna get on I'm gonna put my life together. I'm gonna like get fit. I'm gonna get on the ball. Super restrictive diet, and then it was like it turned into vegan ketogenic one meal a day. Just like heavy hardcore soy and kale, tofu, lots of hummus. And
You feel like that in some ways was sort of like grabbing control of your environment, like you
trying to control something. Yeah,
that makes sense. But then you went to New York, which like I think you should take comfort in that. Like we all feel shitty sometimes, and you're a person who like addresses it and does something about it. Like you did quit drinking, and then you did be like, I got to make a change. I'm going to New York. Like some people spend their whole life being like, someday I'm going to go to New York. I'm just going to go.
yeah.
And 10 years later, there's just like, one of these days, I'm just going to go. And it's like, you just kind of went. Like you, I don't know. I would be proud of that if I were you. Like you are a person who goes for it, like does it, and like commits.
It's strange because it never feels like that.
It doesn't feel like progress when you're piecing together your life again.
Yeah. Like that's the thing.
Nitty gritty.
Yeah, it's like a thing I notice. Like when people notice things that seem special, I'm like, oh, maybe I don't give myself enough credit in certain things, but also I would rather just like keep going through with that because it's kind of like maybe it's like a personal superstition. It's like because when you hold on to the special thing, then it's gone. You know what I mean?
What kind of special thing?
The pride of a moment.
Okay.
The winning of the championship game or something. I mean, that's
Sure.
different because
Okay.
the season ends and shit like that. You know.
I know what you mean, though.
But like an accomplishment. It's like somebody said like don't give in to astonishment. It just like ties in with like psychedelic and meditative experiences that I've had. It's like when I want something to happen, that shit never happens.
I feel that.
But more of like go with the flow, lift up your feet and float downstream.
To a certain extent.
That worked out better for you?
No. It's like one hand off, one hand on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one hand pulling.
It's that detachment,
The other
you guys.
hand.
It's
And
literally
it's that
detachment.
paradox too. It's like life is like you have to just go with the flow, but also sometimes you got to make shit happen. Like
Right.
Yeah, well,
and
I've
it's
heard
that
too. Like, if
paradox
you always
too.
go with the flow, you might be dead. You know, like
Yeah.
you can't. Sometimes you have to fucking find the current, swim along until you get back to the shore. You know,
Right.
you can't just
100%.
float with it all the time.
100%. You can't, or if you just flow with it all the time, you wake up and like you never like took a chance or did something that was uncomfortable because you just kind of went with the flow the whole
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah.
if you're trying so hard to control things or to make this thing happen or get this job and like really push for it, like those are the things that don't work out.
Yeah, the
In my
desperation
experience,
of
they
it all.
don't. You know,
Yeah,
like
it's like-
the desperation.
Yeah, because you end up kind of crushing yourself in that. While trying
Yeah.
to grab the thing so hard, you're actually just like squeezing yourself.
Because
Yeah.
it's fear.
Or suffocating
It's
the
like
thing.
fear is what's
Yeah.
controlling what you're doing.
I wanted to tend the rabbits. I wanted to tend the rabbits. You know,
Yeah.
What is that scene?
from Of Mice and Men.
Oh shit! Yeah, when he
I never saw the
John-
snaps their little neck.
Or,
John-
nor did I read the book.
For me, my mind automatically
I know what happened.
goes
We
to
did it in
Chris
school.
Farley.
Yeah, that's what I
Tommy
thought you were doing. Like, I
Boy,
just find
the
this little bunny.
The biscuits when he's like, oh
You never
my-
saw Tommy Boy?
I think I have. I don't remember.
Oh, that movie. There's no movie or piece of pop culture that probably shaped me more than that movie.
Yeah.
I love it. We were like rented that from Blockbuster every other weekend, I think my entire childhood. But yeah, he goes to a diner and he's like stroking these little biscuits and convinces the waitress by mistake to turn on the ovens and make him fried chicken or some lunch item or breakfast item that was off the menu because it was not the right time of day. But he was detached. He didn't care. He was having a good time, and then he got his
Because
way.
the point he was trying to make is they're on this sales journey doing like trying to sell brake pads or whatever, but he keeps
yeah.
trying so hard in the meetings and he blows it,
He
you
can't
know.
get it.
So he's like, I take this little bunny and I just want to pet it and I just want to pet it and I
But then
kill
I
it.
stifle,
Yeah.
and then he's
Oh.
like
That's what he
bits
does.
start flying everywhere. It's great.
I wonder if that ties into Of Mice and Men. Of Mice and Men, that's an older novel.
Yeah, it's probably an homage of some
John
sort to
Steinbeck,
the.
right? Isn't it?
I think
I
so.
think so.
I think
You
so.
didn't read it?
Fuck, I didn't read any books in school.
They played the movie for us
Oh,
in class.
They never
Come
played
on.
us the movie. We would like I know a little bit about it just because like we talked about it in class. But whenever we had to read the books in school, I just wouldn't read them and like just kind of guess. And like I would sometimes be like, if I ask this question right now, like is that gonna make sense? And then someone would be like, don't ask that question. It'll be so obvious you didn't read.
I was so the opposite. I was the girl that was like color coding her annotations
Oh,
with
yeah,
different
no.
highlighters.
I didn't read the books.
Oh,
But there were some good ones, like Beloved was cool. The Things They Carried, I
Beloved was
enjoyed
good.
that book,
Oh, what
but
was
I didn't read it. It was like a Vietnam.
you enjoyed the discussions.
but I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was like it was such a cool book, but I never read a word
Paul's
of it.
gonna join a book club and just like party hop, you know?
I'm
He's
gonna
just
join a
gonna
book club.
bring some
Just be
dip.
like, all right, so I'll just try.
He's gonna write to it like the
Look, fake it
person
till you
sitting
make
next
it.
to him. Does
This
this
is
question make sense?
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
not.
She's like, why are you even here? Yeah, that's how I got through school. I just kind of lied.
So I want to go back to something you had said. You made the comment you thought you had to go to New York. It seemed like a loaded statement to me. Did you just mean that all of the eternal work you had to do could have been done anywhere?
Or are you glad you went to New York?
Yes and yes. Because I don't know if I would have realized it if I didn't go to fucking New York. You know, it's like, yeah,
Right.
you know,
Right. You get to the end of that journey, and it turns out you had it in you all along.
Right.
it's such
But
a
you're not going to learn that lesson
yeah.
if you don't go through the journey.
It's such fucking corny shit. It's like
But that's the paradox of
It's
fucking
true. And
what we're
I-
talking about.
I
It's
guess-
it's bullshit, but
Yeah.
it's just what it is.
yeah,
I noticed, I think I noticed that because I very much relate to it. And as I've gone through like major life changes, felt compelled to uproot, start fresh. I've moved states a couple of times doing that. And eventually I get to this other side of it where I'm like, yeah, you know, it was not the need for a new town. It was like major shifts happening internally that I
Yeah.
was just trying to catch up to,
yeah.
you know, that I hadn't caught up to yet, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, and sometimes I almost think that it's cool to like justify the internal with the external, you know, like to match them. You know what I mean? Like, I guess some people would just get a fucking haircut and not have to move.
Yeah,
You know?
I've never been adventurous with my hair.
You cut your own hair the other
I
day.
should just dye it. I should have had pink hair. I would have lived in one city.
Well, you
I
can't get
would've-
it pink now because
never-
Des just dyed it pink. So you got,
True.
I was like, when JC got a leather jacket, I was like, fuck, dude, now I can't get a leather jacket for like a year or I'll be copying you. Anyway. But you just cut your own hair.
I did. Yeah.
Looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I did. I'd never done that before though. It was just boredom, and I needed a haircut, and I'm cheap.
It still counts.
Combination
That's
of
still-
a couple things there.
You changed yourself. You didn't even go to get a haircut.
That's right.
That's big.
But yeah, it's an interesting concept. I think
Yeah.
I had a chat about that with a friend. She's like, you relate to my friend so and so. She's always like off around the world trying new things, whatever. But it's all in you. And she just was saying the same thing. And I do feel like that, but I don't know. I think when you're trying to get to know yourself again, because that's what happens when you have these big refreshing moments in life.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's something you want to do in solitude because you don't want people whispering in your ear and influencing you and reminding you of this or that or
That's big right
showing
Good
you
point.
who
Yeah.
you are, who you aren't. It's like you're trying to claw out of this place where you don't
Right.
recognize yourself anymore.
there. Yeah. You want to
Very
differentiate.
well put.
Yeah.
You sort of burn everything around you.
Yeah.
So you're left with just you so that you can figure out who you are. Like without the drinking, without living in LA, without Sarah, so who's just dude by himself, you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
I mean, you've moved, I've uprooted and moved before. Like, yeah, you sort of, when you leave your comfort, you kind of find yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
So then how did you and Sarah get back linked up?
That was the end of my New York adventure. I had her come and visit. I was like, man, I know we're not together, and I don't know if we're supposed to like stay apart, but we were already we stayed talking, you know. Still my
You
best
did
friend.
like the bad breakup, the not clean.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. I mean, it was clean for a while. Yeah, no.
I don't mean to slap a label on it. It's
Yeah,
not bad. There's nothing
yeah.
bad. It's just, you know,
It's clean versus messy.
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clean versus messy. Thank you.
Clean and messy, you know, neither good, neither bad.
Right.
But she came to New York.
Came to New York to visit. I was like, you got to see this place. You know, I live in it's not like a hippie commune, but it kind of is. They have events going on 4 to 5 nights a week. It's like a community shower with flies in it. It's like a gas station quality community bathroom. It's half a kitchen. Only one side of the hot plate works. The fridge freezes your food and it's also leaking. You know, it is kind of like a nightmare. The shipping container that I was living in on the second floor that I had to climb a ladder up to was the only one that was not insulated. So in the summertime, it was an oven. And in the wintertime, even with 2 space heaters, it was 27 degrees.
Yikes.
I was like, you got to see this. You got to see this shit.
I'm dying out here.
Like,
You gotta see.
I'm crazy. You won't believe it.
And so when she got here, did
Funny.
you guys had a good time? Obviously.
Yeah. It was
What-
yeah.
Was there like was there a moment during that you were like, we should get back together? Like, how did that go down?
We just kind of got back together. You know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna be headed. Oh, that was the thing. It's like, hey, I'm gonna be coming back to LA. Do you mind like if I come crash there? Like, how's that going to work?
Right.
And then here we are.
Here we are.
We're in a relationship.
And you're moving to Michigan.
Yes.
This makes me sad, but very happy. This is like another one of those, like, there's a big change, big uprooting, moving, and yeah, I'm excited for you guys.
It's gonna be different.
It's going to be different.
You gotta
Yeah.
make grandma proud.
So
Yeah.
are you moving
yeah.
back to your hometown?
Yeah.
This is the house your grandma lived there when you were living in Michigan?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time there as a child. You know, like my mom would drop me off there or whatever. Yeah, it's like down the street from the like junior high that I went to. Not down the street, but you know, it's close by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't feel like my hometown.
You're pretty far removed from it, yeah.
Yeah.
You've just
Does
gone,
Orlando
you've
feel
gone
like
a
your
long
hometown?
way.
Mm,
More so.
no,
Does LA feel like your hometown?
no. I don't think I have a hometown.
Hometownless.
I'm hometown.
You're not homeless, but you're hometownless. What are you most excited about moving?
Oh, multiple things, like equally. More free time. I worked. This is gonna sound shit, but I worked the last like 2.5 years like full time, and this is the most I've ever worked in my life. I know a lot of people just do this for their whole lives.
Yeah, but
It's intense.
I don't know how.
yeah.
I totally sympathize with people that are like addicted to anything, you know, drugs, food, TV, sex. Like, you have to get out of that. You know, you can't. Are you serious? 5 days a week. And then
Do you feel addicted to work?
I definitely, yeah, that is something, yeah, workaholism. That's definitely, yeah, within these last like 2 years, I was definitely like, you know, there were times when Paul, even you hit me up and it's like, oh, we're going to do something or jam. I did go to a lot of jams, but I know there were some times I was like, man, I got some shit I got to fucking do. And it's really tough to do anything if you're working 5 days a week. Mm-hmm. And then you got like one day to yourself, kind of. But, you know, on my day off, I would just go to the store,
Right.
go to the doctor, run your errands. And holy shit, I can only really do like 3 things in a day.
Yeah.
You think I got 24 hours, at least 16 hours.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 8. No, you can only get like 3 things done in a day.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
for sure.
Yeah.
A job is like sort of a soul sucker. Like maybe
Yeah.
if you're an artist, you know, or like I envy people who can do it, who are just like, I'm just happy. Like I go to work, come home, like watch Big Bang Theory, and like,
Yeah.
and that's my life, and I,
I
love
used
it.
to like want to catch the flu just so I could watch Tommy Boy on the couch. You know, I just wanted to slow down and like, I'll do it. I'll puke. I don't even care. Like, I just want to
Yeah.
lay there and just
Well,
chill.
let's go get the coronavirus.
Do you remember that though? Like that feeling. I used to
If you
have
get
that.
the coronavirus, like you're being a good person, not leaving your house and just
Yeah.
sitting around watching TV.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So
I'm not going to intentionally try to get the
All right,
coronavirus.
all right,
Yeah.
all right, fine. We won't. Fine, we won't.
But I
purposely
am
get the coronavirus.
pushing it. I'm willing to push it. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit. A little bit.
Oh
Of,
man. Well,
it's a give take. It's a.
Truth.
this was amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you for doing this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I got too personal.
No, that's all right. It's all right. Thanks
You're
for
a
the
good
therapy
dude.
session.
You're a good
You're a
dude. We'll
good
just take the
dude.
name and then we're out.
Yeah. So if you want to, you could even write it down. I'll know it. They won't know. Leave.
We
them
should do
wanting
like
more.
you'll be like, my name is. And then it just like, all right, I'll tell you the name. It's. And it just plays out. No, you don't have to say
Yeah.
your name if you don't
You
want
can
to.
be a man with no
just
name.
A mysterious
You
as
are-
you want to be.
People
You
do call
shed
me
your old name,
Dude Tunes.
Dude Tunes.
Dude Tunes on Spotify.
That's how- that's
Dude
where
is
we
dead on
find you.
Instagram.
Dude Tunes.
No, dude is dead. Yeah, he's definitely dead.
But Dude Tunes, I don't know. I mean, this is probably implied, but dude makes music. You guys should check it out. He's the best one. I mean, of our friends, you're the best one. You know, like
whatever.
it's true. Like nobody can make a
Apples
song
to
like
oranges,
you.
okay? I mean, he's great, but why compare them?
Because he's the best. I don't know. He's my favorite, at least. The most impressive
There
to
you
me.
go. Okay,
The most
okay.
impressive to me. Because you can put a song together. Your lyrics are always good. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty good producer, but my lyrics are, you know, whatever. Like, JC's lyrics are, like, on a whole nother level. Like, but you're just everything. Anyway, I'm jealous of you, and I'm impressed by you. And
Thanks,
I want people to know that. If they've
Thanks,
made it
man.
this far, you got to check out Dude Tunes on Spotify.
Check out Dude Tunes.
It's as good as it gets
Spotify.
around here. But yeah, are we getting the name or we're not getting the name?
My name is. I can't do it.
Well, thank you so much, brother. I love you.
Yay,
Shake
dude.
my hand.
Cheers.
Blessings.
Thank you.
I think I'll cut it before even. I'll just like I will leave it at just you. But my name is. That was great, dude. Do you want me to cut out me asking you about jail? Are we still on? We're still live, guys. Hold on.
Nah, man, I put it in a song. You
Okay.
know?
All right.
I used to
Yeah, it
go
makes
to
you-
jail for that shit, man.
Right. Okay. All right.
Dude,
Fair enough. So nothing.
you
You, don't
can't
want to cut
put
anything
dude
out.
in a corner.
Yeah, but you can put him in jail.
He
turns out. Evidently, you can't. If the courts decide.